There's a very popular saying that goes, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. But in music, it's more like, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall out of relevance. Because who you are and what you stand for as an artist is everything. That is how you're going to get people to not only like you, but to really like you. To go from just following you and paying attention to you on social media here and there, to actually being a fan or a super fan of you, and where they're actually contributing to your success as an artist in all kinds of different ways, not just monetarily, but, you know, as I always say, you know, a super fan will share your music with their grandma, whether their grandma asked to hear it or not, right? And that's the kind of fans and super fans that you want as an artist. You want people who will go out there and tell everyone about you. That way you have a higher chance of actually growing your fan base, because that's how things grow. Word of mouth is one of the best referral methods that's ever existed, right? And we're talking more than paying somebody, more than, you know, social proof, which is where, you know, you get like a celebrity or something like that to vouch for you or whatever. But actually a person telling somebody else to go do it, and the relationship that those two people have is like a deep friendship or some other kind of, you know, really strong relationship, right? Not just a casual coworker. That's where you're actually going to double up your fans and double your super fans, and that's what you really want. And see, a lot of people, they don't understand that, and I understand, because it's hard to see, because on social media, especially nowadays in the landscape we have, you know, people have a false sense of relevance and success when they're out here and they're getting, you know, a ton of followers or even a ton of streams on their music because of the methods that they're using to gain those. See, if you have 100,000 followers on your social media and you're only getting about 1,000 organic streams a month on your Spotify, for instance, but then you only have 10 people on your email list on your website, that's a decent ratio. But if you look at it, you're like, man, I got 100,000 people that are following me, and I'm hardly getting any streams, and I'm damn sure not getting anybody who wants to actually talk to me one-on-one. Because that's what the email list is. The email list is like getting the digits of a chick, right? Yeah, you may see her out in public, you may know her name or something like that, right? That's kind of following on social media. You may know them a little bit. Sorry about that. You may know them a little bit and stuff like that out here in public, but when it comes down to it, you don't really know that person for shit, right? However, if you get their number, you start talking to them and stuff like that, guy, girl, you know, I say girl because I'm a heterosexual male, so get it where you fit in, right? But when you actually get that person's number and you start talking with them and learning more about them, that's when you really build that deep connection with them. If they resonate. If they don't resonate, that's when you know, yo, this is some superficial shit now, right? That's where the email list comes into play, because that's when you're actually talking directly to your fans, and they have the option to talk directly right back to you. See, with social media, you make a post, and out of those 100,000 followers, maybe 1,000 see it, let alone react to it, right? And you'll see that a lot of times on a lot of these accounts, and you'll even see people try calling it out and be like, oh man, you got 100,000 followers and you're only getting, 10 likes and a couple comments on your post, man, those must be fake followers. Yes and no, right? They can be fake followers. A lot of times there's a good chunk that are fake in there. But a lot of times what it is that it's people that have maybe seen your stuff a couple of times, once or twice, they hit the follow button, but since they follow a ton of people, then your stuff doesn't always show up in their stuff, because the algorithm on social media is based off of interest. So if you show interest by reacting or by going and manually watching more content from one person over anybody else that you follow, the algorithm is going to start putting that person in front of you even more. And you're going to start seeing a lot less of the other people that you follow. Whether you follow 100 people, 1,000 people, or 100,000 people, right? Doesn't matter how many people you follow. The people you engage with the most are going to be the ones that you see at the top of your feed and that you see most often in your feed. And that's the same way with streaming platforms. The people that you listen to the most, the people that you save to your own personal playlist, those are going to be the ones that are most highly recommended, that when you turn on shuffle in any form or fashion, right? Or you just click one random song and then you just let it go in random shuffle, it's going to start suggesting the same person, maybe some of the same songs over and over again to you, because it knows that you like that. And so the reason that you could have 100,000 followers on social media and only be getting 1,000 listeners a month on your Spotify and maybe only 10 people on your email list, well, that's because you're not trying to build a deep enough connection with the people that are seeing you on the front line, right? Those 100,000 people on social media, you need to be able to be in their face as much as possible and build that connection with them to where they want to go and take those next steps. And the only way that you can do that is by building a solid brand. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, brand gets thrown around so much. Like, what is it really? Well, what is it really is what you are known for and what you stand for as an individual and as an artist, right? Excuse me, as an individual and as an artist. My words all start going together sometimes. And so you have to actually identify who you are as an artist and what you stand for. Whether you're a conscious artist, whether you're a trap artist, whether you're a pop having fun artist, or whether you're a religious artist, right? I work with artists of all those categories. I have one Christian hip hop artist who he was not born in the church. He wasn't raised in the church. He only recently found religion, right, within the last few years. And so he comes at things. We've been working together on building his brand. And I was like, well, so your brand is, I'm born of the world. I come from the world, raised in the world. And then I found religion later. And that's going to resonate a lot more with a lot more people than, oh, I was born and raised in the church. I'm good at two shoes. Look at me. He can actually be like, nah, look, I fucked up all these places. I still cuss sometimes. Like all this stuff. I'm a real person just like you. But this is what I stand for. And, this is my religion, all that kind of shit, right? And so he can actually be like, hey, look, I'm going to actually walk the walk in this religion instead of just talk it, blah, 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 right? That's kind of the thing that he's pushing with his brand. And then I have an artist. Sorry, my dog getting something. Anyway, and then I have, some boom bap artists that are conscious. I have a pop artist who has really, really high upbeat stuff, and his brand is all about, just like cutting loose and having fun, right? So whatever it is that you stand for, whatever it is that you put in your music the most, that's what your brand is. And you got to be careful about this too, because if you don't stick to who you are, if you don't know who you are, that's a you need to say you need to see a psychiatrist. But once you know who you are and what you stand for and stuff, you need to also make music that resonates with that. If you're a conscious hip hop artist, making a trap song talking about money, drugs, guns, and hoes in an uplifting way, like in a straight trap track, you're gonna be way off of your shit. So anybody who may hear you on that feature you did with that trap artist, they may want to go check out your stuff, and they realize you're just a conscious boom bap artist. Like, what the fuck? And they won't turn in because they're the wrong people. And that happens a lot with a lot of these playlists that people get on as well too, is that these playlists will have, either real listeners or bots that basically just listen to any and everything. And so it's not as niched down as what it should be to get the right people tuning in. And even if you don't do the playlist, that's a similar thing with your content, your music content, as well as your social media content. You need to always be putting stuff out that's on brand. Okay? you just have to. Everything that you're about needs to be in your regular content as well as your musical content on social media, and then your musical content online needs to be, it needs to hit with that as well too. So I guess overall what I'm saying is, like I said at the beginning, if you don't stand for something, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall out of relevance. Because you may have a bunch of people that follow you, but a lot of them have fallen off and stopped engaging, so they're not seeing your stuff. They don't care about you anymore. They just don't not care about you enough to unfollow, right? You have to make sure you're intentional with all this stuff and you stay on brand. And that's the key to everything. And as always, if you want to go deeper in this and help build something solid for yourself, you need some help with that, hit me up. But other than that, make sure you think about this. Go out there and be like, okay, so what is my brand? Who am I? What do I stand for? Okay. Does it resonate with my music? Okay. Now I need to make sure it resonates with my content on social media. And make sure you're putting up as much video content as possible, because video is the currency of the day, right? But have as much video content as possible that speaks to your music, that highlights your music, and that the visuals within that video content are on point to what the track is about and what you're about as an artist. You know, every time you see Tony Hawk, you think about skateboarding, because that's what he's about. That's what he's known for, everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Every time you see, you know, whoever, right? Think of the one person that you like the most in pop culture, whether they're an artist or whether they're a politician or whether they're a religious leader, whether they are a sports person, whoever they are. Look at what they're about. What are they known for? Think about those people. Think of 5 things that they're known for, and then look at yourself and come up with 5 things that you're known for, and then just pound the hell out of those 5 things on social media with your content. All right? I'm gonna get the fuck up out of here. Continue enjoying this nice nature. As you can hear, the birds are chirping, mosquitoes are biting. It's a beautiful day. Go get your day started, y'all.